door. Is it happening? Is it happening, monkey? Do you feel like it's happening? Is it happening right now? Are you a happening little dog? Look at you too far over there. I'm gonna pull you back over here. Like that. That's a good spot. That's a good spot for the monkey. Right there. Yeah. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Houston. We have a problem. The microphone there. Okay, we're good. What a yo-yo of a day, huh? Trump did exactly what he's been doing, where the tariffs start to get real, then he goes, haha, just kidding, and pulls it all back, and the market just went wild and rose thousands and thousands and thousands of points, and apparently there was not just a giant spike, but a giant spike that was like 50 times larger than any point ever for daily buys of SPY calls 5 minutes before Trump made his announcement. He had Charles Schwab in the office with him saying, hey, this guy made $2.5 billion today, because he told Charles Schwab he's going to take it off, and Charles went out and bought a bunch of calls. There were single buys of $1 million for $510 calls. Those became worth $33 million within minutes. They're fucking with you. They are straight up manipulating the market to make as much of a fortune as they can off of your pain and suffering. And they're criming. But there's no one who's going to enforce those crimes, because we have a bunch of namby-pamby weenie mobile people who won't do anything about it. So, well, GameStop had a good day today, so at least we got some little zoom from that. But yeah. We'll just wait until Trump pisses off everybody again. Basically, what I see has happened is the economy is crashing. And normally when the market crashes, folks go, oh no, I need a safe harbor, and they go into bonds. They start buying bonds so much that the rates on bonds start to drop, because there's not much, they need to incentivize people to buy those treasury bills. What was happening was hedge funds and banks were dumping those treasury bills out of Japan, China, Europe, and the rates started going up even more while the prices of the bonds going down, because no one wanted to buy them. So that to incentivize people to pick up that debt and buy it, and they weren't doing it. And Trump and company looked at that and they went, oh no, our entire goal to get these bonds to drop isn't happening, and we fucked up. And so they went, ha, just kidding, everybody. We are going to eliminate the tariffs. We're everyone at a baseline 10% tariff, except for China. Screw you, China. Place where we get 40% of all of our stuff. They're paying now 125% tariffs on everything. And China didn't blink. They're like, okay, we're going to put more tariffs on your stuff. So now we're in a full-blown trade war with China. The problem is that the rest of the world is sympathetic to China and not to us, because we pissed them all off. And they're no longer happy with us at all. They're very mad at us. They don't like us. They think we're bad people. We don't have allies left. We have sometimes reluctant business partners who don't want anything to do with us if they can avoid it, and they will try to do their best to avoid it at this point. One of the areas where the U.S. might get a little win on this is if Chinese companies stop shipping things to the United States, they have to dump a huge amount of their products somewhere else, which means they'll be dumping those products into other countries and reducing the price of goods for competing products in those countries. And that might, make people a little mad towards China on this, but I don't think it's really going to be as bad as what we've been seeing from the United States for just yanking people around. So yeah, that's where we are. That's what's happening. There's a recap. Shaboink. Dude. All right, turn that off. I got a good streak going. I've done like 4 shows in a row. Remember to turn that sucker off. So Everything's all right. Kelly Reed was first. Happy birthday, W. So Trump can manipulate markets. Might have feared the bonds, how they looked last night. Does this mean DFV can just say MOAS on? No? Yeah, why not? If Trump can do it, why can't DFV? Oh, other news. DFV's lawyers, Buffhucken, BF KN, I think is why I chose them as lawyers, because that's their initials. They are now appearing in the Bed Bath & Beyond case. So it really might be a Five Guys situation where those dudes are actually all together in on this thing. Definite chin stroking. Stroke the chin, just make the little butt with your chin and stroke it back and forth. So yeah, that's... All right. Done, so you shit him. I'm going to bed. Hope you're surviving. Oh, well, have a good night. Bill Coin, next week, tariffs are back. Exactly. Brendan Wells, sup BBY, sup No Labs. Nothing on No Labs, BBY. The only news I have is that DFV suddenly is back. And 9, even just randomly speaking to people at work, even random people are saying they want Trump, Elon to go away forever, like openly just saying it. Yep. And 9, also the newest Elmo video showing him getting bullied and having to block people is just too good. You will die alone. Post it over and over and over and over. You broke the country like you broke your marriages. Good times. Good times. Louis liked it too. Jimmy Needs Houston. Yo. It's nice to be green playing the volatility while reading through Reddit and seeing how many people are freaking out. But hey, most of them voted for this. Yeah. You voted for this. He told you he's going to put tariffs on stuff, and then he put tariffs on stuff. And you're like, well, why did he put tariffs on stuff? It's what you voted for, man. Keeping it breezy. What up, HW? Was tied up in meetings all day and missed the call options today. Such is life. Yeah. I had turned into GME calls yesterday, and those went up not as much as 33x if I had been for some reason in spy calls. But, you know, it was an appreciable amount. Went up like 80%, something like that. 65%. So I'll take that. And Kelly Reed. A lot of people think that the market is saved because of today, but Buffett didn't buy anything yet. Q1 news is going to be garbage and fall will be brutal. Oh, the economy still contracted 3.5% for Q1. Probably looking at 5% for Q2, which will be larger contraction than we had during the global financial crisis. 45% of people looking to refinance their mortgages are being rejected right now. 45%. That means there are folks who have probably good mortgages with good rates who for some reason need to refinance because, I don't know, need a longer term. Going in for higher interest rates, the banks are like, no. So I don't know what's going to happen. 11% of credit cards are only meeting the minimum payments, which is the highest rate ever recorded. We have the highest rate of FHA loans in delinquency ever recorded. Yeah, it's a lot of bad news going on, man. A lot of bad news. So, what's that steering? Thing's blinking at me over here and turn you off. Turn on there. All right. So yeah, it's gonna get worse. This is a momentary like I made a bunch of money and now people can truly get out of the market if they need to, because they know that's coming. They know that small businesses are going to get wiped out across the entire country. They can't afford it. They can't afford the stuff they ordered that, you know, takes 6 weeks across the ocean. They can't afford it when it gets in. It's 125% tariff. If you bought $100,000 in goods to sell in your store, it's now going to cost you $225,000 for those goods. Who has an extra $125,000 laying around? They don't. I saw some small business people talking today on TikTok videos and things where they're like, hey, I have $100,000 in goods. I can't afford the tariffs. I paid for the goods. I bought them. If I'm lucky, the manufacturer will warehouse them for me somewhere before and wait and see if the tariffs drop. And if they don't drop, then I'm never going to get my goods and I'm never getting my money back. So, then I'm done. I'm out $100,000. I'm out, a year's wages for myself, and I can't live on not having $100,000. So this is going to happen to stores all over the place. And I it's silly, man. It's silly. It's real silly. But you know what? Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Curtis Yarvin and all those guys, they want us making cheap plastic crap that we can then undercut the world with and piss them off for flooding their markets with pieces of plastic, I guess. Those Chinese factory workers, they are just living the life, right? It's when you grew up, you're like, man, I want to be an astronaut, a movie star, a cowboy, or a Chinese sweatshop worker. That's basically what children have said, and Donald Trump listened to them. The children yearn for the unsafe, overcrowded work floors of factories. They truly do. They're nimble little fingers. Just get in there. You can work them. You don't have to feed them. In Florida, you don't need to give them lunch breaks anymore. You can make them work overnight on school nights. So it's a good time. Good time all around. Legacy Den Productions, Houston. Should we mentally prepare for the possibility of more dilution or private bond offerings if GME pops off in the coming weeks? Always. 100% always. Do not be surprised if it happens. If we get a pop, like a real pop, and some people, the TA guys are like, it's going to happen starting Monday. It's going to, through next week. If we truly do get a pop next week in GME, expect by Friday to have, dilution, another bond offering, something that will kill it, because that's what he's done the last several times. So hedge against that. I didn't hedge against that bond offering. I did it too soon. So it was against the pattern he had done before. So, yeah. Hedge away. Different line. Trump cooked my ass to the tune of 85% of my account. Oh, shit. Yeah, I probably cooked a lot of people today. And I was fortunate enough that I wasn't in SPY puts today. I was kicking myself for not buying them yesterday because I watched it drop down below 500. And I was like, oh, that'd be delicious. And I know that if it dipped, I would be holding on to them too long, and I would have held them through that announcement and then watch everything evaporate, because that's how I roll. Drew, Trump has effed me twice in the last 2 days. Shake my head. If I wouldn't have done what I did yesterday, what I did yesterday, I'd be up thousands. Yes. Lieutenant Productions, Houston. When hedge funds close their GME short positions, does it have to go through lit exchanges or loophole through dark pools? That's a good question, because a lot of people are like, well, they can just close it through dark pools. If you're getting liquidated, the dark pools may not exist because the market makers might not have the dark pools available to them because they might be facing capital constraints themselves. And especially since they have to get legit shares and not naked shares, right? Because no one's going to have the margin available to sell naked shares on the market when they're all getting vaporized. It may have to go through lit exchanges, because it'll be the prime brokers and the DTC doing these buys, and I don't think they're going to be doing it through dark pools in that case. They might, but I don't think so. I think we will see the price action doing what the price action does. And yeah. MS Houston, do you think what Bernie is doing with rallies will do anything? I mean, he's always been doing those things with rallies, getting lots of people there. It does provide a way for folks to learn about solutions to our problems that aren't being a dick to the rest of the world. There's one amazing thing Bernie had in 2016 and 2020 was when he go talk about solutions to these issues, people who were like on the libertarian side and right side listen to him and go, oh yeah, that would solve things. And so he would pull some of those folks over. And when Bernie's out, the only person talking to them are these like far right people who are like, it's Mexicans and bad people. They're taking things away from them. But deep down, they know it's billionaires. And they know that this wealth concentration is bad. The problem is they don't have, I want to say, the foundation upon which to be steadfast in that belief, that they're easily swayed by the billionaires themselves and then find themselves at the shit end of the stick yet again. And so Bernie's able to sort of do a measured tone, be consistent, say the same thing he's been saying for 40 years, and people go, yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, it might work for folks. Bernie's way too old to run for president. Next time around, it might be AOC if she isn't running for Senate. It'd be interesting to see if a populist can get to the top of the Democratic ticket again. Obama was a total middle of the road Democrat, but he was still a populist in that he was the outsider in that case. And surprising everybody in the Clinton campaign. I would like to see the establishment Dems just get shoved out onto an ice floe and forgotten about because they're really bad at what they do. Or just say, they do bad things at what they do. They're good at what they do in that they make it an unviable party if that's their entire goal. But there needs to be somebody whose job it is to make it into a viable party that can win and pass legislation and hammer through things that help people. With the current leadership, you aren't going to get that. You're going to get placators like Schumer and turncoats like Fetterman, and folks that talk a good game when they have to, like Booker, who then turns the other way and sends another $40 billion to Israel or whatever. It's there needs to be some sort of consistency in the fortitude department among Democrats. Says 54, Houston. My dog of almost 19 years is starting to sun down on me. I'm beyond heartbroken. I can't move on. I can't. I was really worried about that with Monkey. Those first 10 days she got out of, lost her leg. She had this old lady face of this but it's come back. Like the youthfulness in her eyes have come back, and I'm grateful for that. But man, yeah. But man, I'm sorry. At 19 years is a long time to have a little buddy. And by all means, I read a thing the other day. It was am I overreacting from Reddit? It was about this lady, her dog of 15 years passed away. And it was 4 days after her dog had passed away, and she was just holding its collar, crying on the couch, just sad. And her boyfriend's like, "Get over it. It was 4 days ago." If you're ever dating somebody who's like that, dump them. Dump them. That little buddy gave you their best every damn day, and they're only around for a little bit, and it hurts. It hurts a lot when the buddies go. And Foofer, my dog Foofer, he was my dog growing up. I had him from 1988 till 2003. So from when I was 7 years old until I was 22 years old. And we had no idea how old he was. When we adopted him, they said he was 10 months old, but he definitely was not a puppy. Probably was 3 or 4 years old when we got him. So he may have been close to 20 when he died. But that little dude, he was the best little guy, and we had to put him down finally. He had melanoma, he had skin cancer, which I didn't know dogs could even get. And 2 days before I moved to Hawaii to go to school, and I couldn't sleep. I had to pack sleeping bags into a backpack. Sorry, towels into a backpack and put it at the foot of my bed. So I tucked my toes under. I couldn't sleep. I've been doing that for my entire life, basically. And for years, I'd have a backpack full of towels to put my bed to tuck my toes under. And every single night from 2003, from August 12th, 2003 to June 12th, 2016. So for 13 years, every single night I had a dream about Foofer. Every night. We're just hanging out, doing things we did. Sit on the couch, watch a baseball game, go for a walk in the woods, throw the ball. Like, I had dreams hanging out with Foofer, and him, sometimes explain to me, like, yeah, I'm dead, but, like, it's all right. We're here right now. Every night for 13 years until I got this dog, and I haven't had a Foofer dream since then. So I'm sure when she finally goes, all I'm going to think about. I'm going to have dreams about Monkey Butt every night until, the next little buddy comes into my life. So yeah, be there for them, mourn them, hold them close. They give it their all. They have one job in life, and that's to be the happy little dude who hangs out with you. And they do it so very well. So I'm sorry there, citizen. It's a gut wrencher. So yeah. Mr. E-Machine, if Trump wanted to bring American jobs back, why didn't he enact something like tax cut incentives? We know how much he likes tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations. The problem is that they can't. They're running out of space to cut that stuff, and he doesn't understand what tariffs are. He still thinks that tariffs are are like China paying the tariffs, and it's not. It's us paying the tariffs, and we get punished. So, I don't know. I don't know why he swallowed the fly. I mean, in reality, you sign on to the agreement that limits the lowest corporate tax rates to 15%. So that every nation on Earth has a minimum of 15%, so they can't do tax incentives to pull things back and forth, and you just make sure everyone has stuff paid for. Just there are better ways to go about this. It's also better to like not care about the trade deficit, because who gives a shit, right? Like, Disney went all like, oh, we're going to get rid of DEI and make Trump happy. And now China's like, we will never show an American movie again. Eliminating $2 or $3 billion a year in revenue from Disney from showing movies in China. Right? What's to stop China from going to Hong Kong Disney and just shutting it down? Be like, no, you're American, get the fuck out of here. Boom, there goes another couple $1 billion a year in revenue. The retaliations are going to be real. And we're going to lose access to billions of eyes on our pop music, television, movies, our culture getting exported over there, basketball, which is huge. We just killed it by just being dicks. And I guess we kind of deserve it. So, oh crud. Where did that go? And I'm off. I've been rugged twice by the same news. Shake my head. He didn't win Houston. Yeah, Walter Bloomberg was right. He probably did have somebody tell him like it's going to be a 90-day thing. It's just it didn't happen. And it was he wasn't supposed to report it because they weren't ready to do the announcement of it yet. So, or you win twice. You whisper it to Walter Bloomberg. He posts it. It causes a $4 trillion gain in the markets. You win off of that, and then discover it wasn't true. So it collapses again. You win off of that, and then you make it true again, and it goes up to record highs all over again, or record gains in a day. It's this type of volatility. All it does is makes everyone distrust you. This is the type of stuff you do if you're trying to cow an entire country into, nothingness, to accept you as some sort of ruler who rules by fiat and what you say is the law. That's kind of what we're heading towards. There's a slight mutiny among moderate Republicans over the tariffs and trying to eliminate Trump's ability to unilaterally impose them without Congress's approval. Except in the budget resolution amendment that is in the House right now is a law that forbids Congress from getting involved. So, believe me, things can get worse. And they probably will. 64, how do you buy options on the NASDAQ Dow? Oh, the Dow And NASDAQ ETFs, let's see here. NASDAQ ETF. There's iShares, Invesco. It looks like iShares and Invesco ones have a whole bunch. There's Fidelity, NASDAQ Composite, Direxion, QQQ. I guess QQQ tracks the NASDAQ 100. That's what that one does. Yeah. So just search for them. Just search like NASDAQ ETF, Dow ETF. Oops. Put a space there. SPDR, Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF. They have that. The DIJ. Yeah. So they're out there. They're out there. Whisker Biscuit. Taking my first trip to the Pacific this summer and visiting Seattle. Hope to do as much hiking, sightseeing as possible. Any must-do hikes or any places to get either downtown or other? Thank you. So many hikes. Oh my gosh. Depending on where you are, Olympic Mountains, North Cascades, Central Cascades, they're everywhere. I mean, you go on a hike, you'll be an amazing hike. It doesn't really matter which one. I suggest going, like if you're here in the summer, like July, August, a really great one is go to Mount Rainier, go to Paradise, the lodge there, it's beautiful. And you do the hike up to Camp Muir. You can go like hang out in some snow and have a sunny day and see all the guys hiking, getting ready to climb Rainier, play in the snowfield, go through wildflower fields. If you're doing multi-day hikes, circumnavigating Rainier is awesome. Or like going to the Olympic Mountains and doing like the Seven Lakes Basin. You can go North Cascades-ish up to like Skagit County and go up to Monte Cristo, which is an old gold mining ghost town. It's up in the mountains. And it's up really high. It's up like 7,000 feet. But it's a really cool hike to get up there. There's so many. You can do some of the hikes along some of the rivers, go to waterfalls, Solduck Falls, easy little day hikes. You can do hikes out to the coast, to like Quinault Wilderness, out to the ocean. Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of them up there. You go to like North Focus, Skokomish, in the Southern Olympic Mountains, and head up into the mountains where the old manganese and magnesium mines are. So during World War II, you're not supposed to do any mining in national parks, but because of the war effort, they're like, mine the national parks. And so they started building a railway. Miners headed up there and started digging out all this manganese and copper and magnesium ore. And then the war ended and they didn't finish the rail. And they're like, oh, so there's left the piles of ore there and you can hike up and see them. It's pretty neat. It's also like old airplanes crashed in the forest. You can go see some old World War II planes out there. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff. And if you go downtown, eat. That's pretty much the thing you do downtown in Seattle. Is there's really amazing Northwest fusion restaurants. Teriyaki. Teriyaki's Japanese. It's Northwest. I'm pretty sure teriyaki was invented in Seattle. Originated from Japanese cooking method, but it became a Seattle staple invented by Toshi Kashihara in the 1970s. I love teriyaki. You can get your like bento boxes and awesome teriyaki foods. You can get your fried cutlets, your panko breaded stuff, and it's all awesome. Sushi's awesome here because all the fishing companies are based here, so this is the first place fish come. There's a lot of really good sort of Northwest fusion French cuisine. Basically, think salmon cooked in butter. Nom 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 nom. Yeah, the food is great. So eat it all up. Nom nom nom. So do that. Otherwise, downtown, you can go to Pike Place Market and you can go to Pioneer Square and you can go to the Space Needle or the Columbia Tower and see the views and do all that stuff. But get the good food while you're doing it. Just Mammy and Trumpy watched Jamie Dimon calling an incoming market crash due to tariffs. Yeah, on Fox no less. Rose Moon, I've been busy. What I miss? You missed the That's what you missed. Confusing, Houston. I'm exhausted from all these head games. I can't imagine what the Wizard of Oz will declare next. Yeah. Tariffs will be back on in a week. He'll be like, I'm not getting people kissing my ass enough, so maybe I'll put some random tariffs on France or Mongolia or whatever. I don't know. Bex Houston, happy birthday. I hope the move wasn't too painful. When are we going to catch a break? I don't know. It looks like Bed Bath & Beyond, or says DK Butterfly, is getting really close to us catching a break. These lawsuits are getting wrapped up with settlements. We're having weird appearances by people all of a sudden in it. It looks like there's going to be a waterfall payout anywhere from $1 to $94. Somewhere in there. There's going to be a cash payout going to people. I'm really hoping on the $94 side, I'm really hoping that it involves a 1-for-1 of a well-known stock, say GME, and a 1-for-1 in warrants for that said stock. Because that will cause Squeezemas to happen. And Merry Squeezemas would be wonderful. Yeah, but otherwise I don't know when the break's gonna happen. We're certainly not gonna have an easy day while this man is president. And I still get people, like, they post the comments after the show, like in the regular comment section of YouTube, and they're like, Trump is the best. I'm like, what the fuck you did? No, he's not. He's not even close to the best. He's closer to the worst, and you are a terrible judge of character. Just shut the fuck up. Like, him yanking you around might seem exciting at the time, but really it's putting strain on your heart, making your hair turn gray, causing your teeth to fall out. It's not what a loving, caring, honest person does. If your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife did this to you, you would be in an abusive relationship and you should leave. And we know how being in an abusive relationship can break your brain. They gaslight you. Just sorry, babe. Just sometimes you just make me so angry. If you just make me angry, I wouldn't lash out like that. This is the mantra of an abusive person. This is an abuser, right? He did not need to put tariffs on anybody, but he said he's going to put tariffs on everyone at really high rates. And then he's like, you know what? I saved you. It's just going to be 10% tariffs for everybody for now until you piss me off again. And there's going to be more. Eventually, everyone else around the world, they know their worth. They realize, like, hey, I have dignity. I don't need to be yanked around by this bullshit clown in a monkey suit. I can just ignore them and never have to deal with the United States of America again. Done. Fuck you. And that's what they're going to come to. They just aren't going to deal with us if they don't have to, and we're going to end up as mud people. Closed off from the rest of the world, just like Iran, just like Russia, just like Cuba, just like North Korea. We're making ourselves into a pariah state. And once you're a pariah state, that's it. You aren't suddenly become this, like, wealthy insular Wakanda. Like, it's not how it works. Without people to sell stuff to, we got no one to sell stuff to. No one's lining up to buy North Korean cars, right? They're closed off the rest of the world. They want to buy South Korean cars. They want to buy Japanese cars. They want to buy German cars. Why? Because they make good cars and they have open economies, and you don't feel terrible buying them, and they're not garbage because they obey the laws of competition. Meaning, hey, that guy has a really good car. It sells for this much. That means I gotta make an even better car and sell it for that much less, etc. And you foster a healthy competition. But if you become an insular society, you got no one to compete against. Especially when, your automakers are being owned by foreign companies. Chrysler is not American anymore. It's owned by Italians. It's Stellantis. It's Fiat. So we close everything off. We're down to Ford and GM competing against each other. And quite frankly, that's bad. Then we go back to, like, 1970s era of build quality in cars, and you don't want that. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna make that garbage. Oh shoot! I missed an attaining one in the super chat. Sorry about that. AOC should be there. Cancer Connolly is. Cancer Connolly. Cancer. Oh, talking about Jerry Connolly. Okay. Cancer. Someone named their kid Cancer? No. Yeah. Jerry Connolly, who got selected for AOC for a leadership role at age, what? How old is he? 74. He's going through chemotherapy and everything else. Foreign Affairs and Oversight Committees. That's where AOC should have been, but they decided to put the old dying white guy there instead. Yeah. Just Mammy and Trumpy. Oh, we did that one. Duh. The mind games one. Bex, Houston, happy birthday. I hope the move wasn't too painful. Oh, we did that one. I'm repeating myself here. I'm hungry. We're about to grill some steaks here in 22 minutes. I'm hungry. I prepped my steak a la France, and it's delicious, and got gas for the grill, and we're gonna grill them up, and it's gonna be amazing. Flame broiled. See my God, do with nub. Oh hey, good thing I refreshed. There you are. Hedge Productions. Hey Houston. YOLO to Jimmy years ago. I started a drone recording business. Drone recording? And now my clients include pole dancers. Is now a bad time to quit job at YOLO in career traveling and filming? Started a drone. Oh, like flying drones and recording. And you fly the drones around pole dancers. I get it. Okay. I get it now. Is now a bad time to quit job to YOLO in a career traveling and filming? Depends on what your job is. Like, if it's something that's going to get crushed in this economy, then, may as well peace out, Girl Scout. Yeah. Are you making money at it? Do you enjoy it? Then go for it. Like my cousin, who is a world-renowned photographer and videographer, that's all he does. He travels the world with his drone and camera, and he makes a really great living at it. He does stuff for National Geographic Channel. He does, ad campaigns for British Airways. He's been doing it since he was like 15. He had the cover of Photography magazine when he was, I think, 14 or 15 years old. And he gets this gig every once in a while. There's this really small rich people cruises that might have like 30, 40 rooms on them. And he is the videographer. So he goes with the rich people. They go up to Alaska or Antarctica or the South Pacific or whatever. And he makes little documentaries of the things they see and the people they interact with. So he just films them and goes to these cool places and films the whales breaching and, penguins sliding into the sea or getting chased by seals. And then he makes a little documentary for these people, for the trips they're on. And he makes good money at it. And he gets to go to some really crazy places. And you get to go to Papua New Guinea and watch, 13-year-olds, when it's their manhood, jump out of the trees with the vines attached to their legs and, see headhunters out in the wild, and it's cool stuff. So, you know what? If you're making money at it and you like it and you're good at it, fucking do it. That's what I say. Drew, such obvious insider trading. I watched Jamie Dimon. You are the damn president. Why are you listening to the bank CEO and not your damn crew? Exactly. And then it says, wait, DFE's lawyers, where'd you see that? Okay, let's pull up that happened today, this afternoon. I got tagged in it a whole bunch here. So where's my notifications? There we are. This one? No, not that one. Is it this one? Here we go. All right. Boom. Chrome. Bam. That one. Boom. Okay, this guy. So Keith Gill's lawyers. I want to go this way. Barack Forzano Kirschbaum LLP, also known as butt fucking. BFK, butt fuck. They have checked in. They have checked in the BBBY. They are here. Docket 3979. So there they are. It's Keith Gill's lawyers. So this is his stuff by with Chewy. There's his lawyers right there. Bam. BFK. So there you go. And Dragonfly also, I think. Oh, El Catterton also made an appearance. Yeah, El Catterton from Dragonfly made an appearance. So there we go. So we got two big DFV and RC related groups making an appearance in BBBY's bankruptcy. Don't you look at me like that, fat cat. You're stuck in here until I'm done for another 17 minutes. So suck it up, Buttercup. Hayes Productions might say, screw MOAS now that I might be able to fund a dream. Well, you can always just have the MOAS as a little bonus on the side. You know, treat it like that. Iggy Limon, attorney with MMTLP, looked at DFV attorney case and said they are representing someone else. Ken Smith, controlling the game and grabbing all the money. F me, oh, happy birthday. Yeah. Ken Feasting, I think we still have more volatility ahead. I think so, too. I don't think this volatility is over with. Come on up here. Don't just come on up. Come on up. There we go. Cattail Karaoke. There we are. There he is. He's made his appearance. He's happy to be here. Scratch his butt. That tail go stiff with the butt scratch. Just absolutely. Okay. Single. My thousands went into hundreds today. Hopefully everyone else is doing better than me. It happens, man. Especially when the president front runs his own insider play to manipulate the markets. If Barack Obama had done this, he would have been impeached and facing prison time. It's true. He would have been absolutely impeached and facing prison time for manipulating the markets like this. It's one thing, you know, the members of Congress who like know about a deal that might be going out to a particular defense contractor or whatever. It's another thing to openly manipulate the markets by being like, tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs on, tariffs off, and then buying puts and calls accordingly. That is straight up market manipulation. That is using the bully pulpit to enrich yourself and not actually govern for the people. So, look at that cat. Look at that cat in the monkey cam just tailing it up. Yeah, don't put your face in. That's my water dish. Don't you do that. Leave it alone. You're in my way. I can't read the questions. Sit down. Sit that butt down. I can't read the questions. Your butt is in the way. You come over here? You come all the way over here? You come right there? You go right there? There you go. Get out of my way. Perfect. That little butthole. Yeah, butthole. Butthole right there. Okay. Cat's showing hole in the internet. I thought you were in the big dollars there, buddy. B-ball 3710, did Trump squeeze all the puts shorts? If so, F them shorts. It sounds like he had a whole bunch of people from different investment banks and hedge funds in the White House with him when he made that Truth Social post, tweet post, whatever you want to call it. And the amount of calls that were purchased in the minutes ahead of time makes me think he told them what he's going to do. They told all of their people, hey, go buy a bunch of calls. And they bought a bunch of calls, and Trump sent that message out, and they all made billions. Charles Schwab personally made $2.5 billion off of spy calls today. Charles Schwab. The man named Charles Schwab. Not the grand thing. The personal account man, Charles Schwab, was in the White House and made $2.5 billion off of Trump telling him, by calls, I'm going to fly the spy. Crime. It's a crime. It's crimes, man. It's crimes. Yeah, they're not squeezing the shorts. Rob the Barons, Trumper guy at my work said, well, who could have seen this coming? And he was serious. Peach Sunday. Hey, Brother Houston, my puts all went to dirt. Yeah. Sometimes small, yay. Can you explain the likelihood of an infinity squeeze and over what amount of time it could happen? I mean, people use the term thing like infinity squeeze, but everyone has a price. I have a price, you have a price, we all have prices. Now, two things come into play. One is the longer we go, the angrier people get, and the more they're going to hold on to that thing and just ruin the short hedge funds. Combined with the longer we go, the less people have to live off of, and they become more desperate. So I'm not sure where that line is going to intersect. But I'll tell you much, with this particular crew leading this country and sending us down authoritarian lane, I am tempted, if it gets to the point where it's enough for me to just GTFO, take my friends and family with me, that might be it, and not have to worry about this ever again. But yeah, so, oh, you cat, rip your little head off, and you scratch your little dork. But yeah, this guy, you want to go? Where do you want to go? Huh? You're a forest cat. You can go anywhere with this forest. So where do you want to go? Tell me. Yeah. So it all depends on where people's prices are in this regard. I'm in the longer we wait, the harder it gets over time boat, and I see lots of people who they tweet at Ryan Cohen like, "Hey man, pull the fucking trigger. I have cancer. I can't afford treatments. I need to pay for this stuff. My wife is sick. My kid is injured." Every day I see tweets to Ryan Cohen telling him that. And Ryan Cohen, he's a billionaire. He's got money. He doesn't care. He's fine. He can wait it out. We don't have that luxury. We don't have billions of dollars to rest upon and be like, yes, I can wait this one out some more. We aren't billionaires. So we do have our trust in someone and expecting him to fully, Berkshire Hathaway us and get us that payout so that we can live comfortable lives as well. I don't need to be a billionaire. I wouldn't mind being comfortable. It's that simple. Judas Miami, do not retaliate and you will be rewarded, White House. That's basically what they're saying. And the weird thing is that other nations had already implemented retaliatory tariffs, but he took them off, but he just didn't take them off of China's. So, like France and Germany and the EU had already announced their retaliatory tariffs, but he was like, back to 10%. Went back to 10%. Drew says, I guess I need to start waiting till after 2 p.m. every day to make plays. I keep making plays at 9:45, 10 a.m. right before the decides to announce some BS. Yeah, he's usually not awake that early, so you're not going to hear that much news out of him until he's like had his waffles or something or a steak with cheese. I don't know. And then he's like, all right, now we can do something, because he sleeps until noon every day. J-Dog, holy cow, Mariners walk off, win J-Rod 2-run homer in the 9th and grand slam in the 8th by A. Roz. Oh, yeah? Is that what you got for me? Okay. Today, I hadn't seen the game today. They're still in Houston. They won. They scored 7 runs in the 9th yesterday to win. Like, holy moly. Score? Oh, no, that was yesterday's game. Yeah. Oh, today. That was today's. Oh my. Yeah, they said 4 runs in the 8th and 3 in the 9th today to win by 1. Well, that's one way to eke out the Astros. Still got a ways to go till 500 though. Way to go, Mariners. All right. David Bain. Trump exists because the current leadership is such a clown show. Yeah. Mark Kilpatrick. Martin Taylor Greene got out of the markets a week before Trump started the tariffs. Seems suspicious or insider trading. 100%. She knew what was up. She just bought like $700,000 in shares and stuff that totally exploded today, just the other day. She knew what was up. Getting those lows. Drew, do you expect the markets to keep being this volatile? Yes. If so, how long? All of Trump's presidency? The volatility will be pushing down over time. So it'll be like, no, woohoo, no, woohoo, no, woohoo. But as we close ourselves off to the rest of the world and piss them off, our ability to sell into other markets is going to drop, which means, what's happening to Tesla is going to happen to all American brands. Visa, American Express, MasterCard, PayPal, all being banned by the EU. Our cars won't sell overseas. We do a terrible job of making small compact cars for Asian markets. We just don't do it. So, yeah, we're in a doom cycle. Well, every once in a while you're in a doom cycle. You have a good day. You find a penny on the ground. Your tax cab actually picks you up when it's supposed to. Whatever. But for the most part, it's going to be watching market share of individual companies that compete on the global level disappear. They're going to have subsidiaries in other countries with completely different names and American brands, and they have to do that to try and get around this stuff and avoid the it's American punishment that's going to come from consumers. Canada, they have apps in Canada where you boop it and it'll tell you what the origin country is, and if it says USA, people put it on the shelf and they turn it upside down. And so if you go to a Canadian grocery store or whatever and you see things turned upside down on the shelves, that's a Canadian telling other Canadians, don't buy it, this one's American. So that's what's happening around the world, is that people are very passionately boycotting American stuff. Did you just do a big old toot there, monkey dog? Can you not do that in the closed room? Can you just hold that one for me? That'd be great, thanks. Yeah, there'll be volatility, but it's just going to be continuing that way. Aaron Salentine. So are these shorts being obliterated in the market? Oh, just read that one. Duh. I'm reading the ones over and over again today. Coffee Duns and Homer, Washington Schultz and Hillary did a number on the Dem Party. Yep, it's true. If they had just had free unthumb on the scale primary 2016 and 2020, the Democrats would have been president through this entire time. It's pretty amazing that the Republicans blow up. Every time a Republican becomes president, they blow up the economy. Several times. Sometimes several times in a single term. And then for some reason, they're seen as like the fiscally responsible party. And they never have been. 50 million jobs created under Democratic presidents in the last 40 years. 1 million created under Republican presidents. The debt explodes under Republican presidents because they cut taxes and they start stupid wars and they spend the money on bullshit. And Democrats cut deficits in half. In Clinton's case, they create a surplus, a $200 billion a year surplus. We're like, hey, we'll be able to pay down the national debt with this. And no. We got to do a tax cut and then start 2 fucking wars that last 20 years in the Middle East and blow up the economy by allowing subprime mortgages to take over the entire market. So how about that, right? And then Democrat comes in, he cuts deficits and he saves the economy, and they get rewarded by having Trump do tax cuts and mismanage a pandemic and blow up the economy again. The Democrat comes in, and sure, he's not charismatic and he's kind of slow and he's doddering, but he saves the economy and manages to keep inflation under control and gets people back into work, and then we reward him with a fucking clown show again. It's just exhausting. I hate checking my phone and seeing news from that man. It ruins everything. I want a president who I don't have to think about. Can we just have a president who just does his goddamn job and don't have to think about it all day long? That'd be great. That'd be wonderful. It'd be so easy. Fucking squeezy. Lemon squeezy. Governor Homer also says, so glad I didn't buy the spy short this morning. Yeah, I'm glad I was in my GME calls today. Because I was like, GME, if they're margin calling everyone, this week might be some good stuff. And then it rode that wave anyway. So I was like, all right, I'll take it. It's over 25 right now after hours, right? GME 25.40. Yeah. So we had a low of 22 something, 22 something earlier today, and 25.40 right now. So nice. That's 10 cents away from my 25 50s are my calls. So we got 25.51 at one point after hours. So I was in the money briefly. Alex Bishop, but just about $30 internet to see the show. I'm flying back home for the first time in 7 years. Well, welcome. Where's home? Yeah, hope you have a good time. Okay. Daydog says, still last in the division, but not by much for now. Root Sports and Xfinity suck. Yes, they do. They absolutely do suck. Aaron Saltine, so are these shorts being obliterated? Oh, I did that one already. Okay. 64 says, thank you, Houston. I'm going to miss him beyond belief. I love him so much. They're just good little dudes. You're a good little dude. Even though you're just a little farty right now, you're a good little dude. You are. You are. You're a good little dude. And you, fat boy, you're an okay little dude. You need to go outside and kill some more stuff for me because that's your job. So go do that. Lose some weight and go kill some stuff for me. No, you're fine. You're fine just the way you are, you fat turd. You're fine just the way you are. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, catch that button. Confidence Homer waiting for the crying farmer videos. They're coming. They got no one to pick the crops. They got no one to plant the crops. They are losing their farms because they are so dependent upon government subsidies and government loans and grants to pay for the land they work. And Doge obliterated all that. So yeah, it's definitely coming. A lot of those. Cardinals Homer Houston is a perma bear, kinda. Anonymous wants to see Jared Kushner's fund. I promise he benefited. Oh, he definitely did. Sis54, could we have a moon base already, or is this conspiracy theory BS? What are the downfalls of living on the moon? We definitely could have had a moon base. Basically, the thing that kept us from having a moon base was the Vietnam War. Is that the funding that would have gone to having a long-term presence on the moon was wasted in Vietnam. And then that got replaced by late 70s through the 80s Cold War technology. And so we didn't do it. But we could have a permanent base on the moon. It wouldn't be, I don't want to say it'd be that difficult. Meaning we have the technology readily available to do it anytime we want. I mean, we have people living year-round on the space station, and that is really no different than the technology it takes to have a permanent moon base. And it's a little bit easier on the moon because you have gravity, even slight gravity, but you can set stuff down in places and have normal offices and whatnot. So yeah, we could have it, and we should have it. We should have a moon base. We should have had a moon base 40 years ago. But wars and guns and bombs always takes precedence. So yeah, we could have it. And Drew, any tips on setting realistic mental boundaries when it comes to profit taking? I keep buying SPY 0 days, getting to around 30% profit and wait out for 50 to 100% and ending up losing 90 to 100%. Basically with the 0 days, you kind of want to get done 2 hours into the day at most. So here the market opens at 6:30. So about 8:30, you just take it. If it's profitable, you take it, and then you can wait for the next day. For a couple weeks there, I was doing okay because the market would go down $15. So I'd buy like morning of $5 out, and then I'd make that $10. And then I'd buy calls and would go up $10. So it would go from here down to there, up to here. And then I'd buy puts for the next day and then do it all over again. And it was doing that for several days. And then I got whippity wiped out on a day when I waited too long. I just waited too long. I was like, oh, I'm up $500. It's at 8:30. I can hold for a little while longer. And then it vaporized me. It did just jump a little earlier than I expected, and I held too long. So yeah, it happens. It happens to all of us. Larry Dubs, Houston. Did we wait all these years for GME MOAS and BBY payout only for the dollar to be worth shit? Yeah. The payout's going to be enough. Like, we're at millions of dollars. I can buy a loaf of bread with that. That's going to be kind of Weimar Republic type stuff. And Drew says, I'm trying to get to 25,000 today trade limited, but I think I'm trying to get there too fast. When you get your wins, to get slow and steady, and it only takes a couple weeks to get there. You get your 50% wins on those guys. Take half of that, throw it into GME or some other stock that's fairly stable, and then take the rest of it, play again. When you get your win, take half of the profits, throw it in there, play again. Take half your profits, and just keep doing that. And then on one of those days, you'll have a 300% or a 3,000% win. Just like, you buy the 5-10 lotto ticket today, you 33x your money. And all of a sudden, whoa, on just, a handful of call options, I made thousands of dollars each one. I'm back at $25,000. So that's the way. J-Dog, is Bitcoin and ETFs going to balance the powers that fiat have? No, because 97% of Bitcoin is controlled by 1% of people. It's a higher concentration of wealth in Bitcoin than there is in the stock market, in real estate, than anything else. It is more centrally controlled than anything else. And Bitcoin follows the stock market almost exactly. Why? Because hedge funds have to sell all their Bitcoin when things are going bad to be able to meet liquidity requirements for everything else. So Bitcoin drops the night before, the next day stocks drop. It's basically a canary in the coal mine for it all. So no, I don't. Yeah. It'll replace things for rich people. Everyone else will be just kind of screwed like they already are. Dan B, it's been a while since I've tuned in. Hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you. I'm almost to the bottom here. I'm going to get to the bottom, and then I'll be it for the day because I got to go cook some steaks. Arya Shadow feels as though the billionaires are in on it with Trump and with regards to the market and inflate their assets before the next round of inflation to keep them happy. Oh, Trump definitely, the billionaires turned the corner yesterday and was like, all right, I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening, and you can follow with me. And he's buying complacency with them by doing that. KC Houston, Greg posted a picture of a pan on a stove, and since rumors are that he's roaring kitty, the way it's positioned, it looks almost identical to the meme vid of signs with the GME symbol in the field. Interesting. And Vernolk, damn Agent Orange, turn those tariffs off like the bitch he is. Yep. All right. With that news, folks, I will... I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably at the 3:30 Pacific time. I'll see you guys for that. Have a great night. I hope GME keeps popping so that I can keep enjoying the benefits of it. And you folks have yourselves a merry little evening. All right. So it's dark outside, so I can do this.